It's a spooky Halloween edition. Hey everyone, my name's Kayla and welcome back to Pages in Prosecco, where I talk about a book and I pair a wine with it. To prepare for today's Halloween edition, I thought about doing a whole bloody makeup look and a full costume, but I decided to go with a dark, goth, glam, 80s rock look. I don't know, it's just what I was feeling. Before we delve into the book, I just want to give a shout out to my soon-to-be sister-in-law, Jess, who gifted me this awesome wine glass for my birthday that says, "Drinking puts the lit in literature." Are you kidding me? I love it. It's entirely my mood. I'm obsessed. Thank you, Jess. So, the book on recap tonight is In a Dark, Dark Wood by Ruth Ware. Set deep in the English countryside, a group of unorthodox friends get together for a bachelorette weekend.
But things take a murderous turn
In this suspenseful, twisted psychological thriller. I loved this book. I could not put it down. I read it in 2 days. If you like books like Gone Girl, Sharp Objects, or shows like Big Little Lies, Dead to Me, Little Fires Everywhere, then In a Dark, Dark Wood is right up your alley. It also gave me a little adult Gossip Girl gone wrong kind of vibe. The author builds suspense for like 150 pages. I was on the edge of my seat, curled up in a blanket, like, what the hell is going to happen? Perfect time of year. Who doesn't love a little murder mystery action? Does it match my lipstick? The wine I've paired with this book is the 2017 Ghost Pines Red Blend. Okay, that label. Are you kidding? I mean, for one, hello. Like, is that not perfect? I mean, the label's creepy as hell and definitely fits with the dark, creepy woods vibe. Blood, darkness, ghosts of the past haunting you. In 1964, Louis P. Martini purchased 178 acres of land, which the Martini family developed into a vineyard they named Ghost Pines, as a tribute to the native gray pines, which at dusk appear to hover, solitary and ghost-like, throughout the coastal valleys. I got a lot of blackberry, nutmeg, allspice, and heavy on the tannins. Wine fact for you, tannins are derived from the skin, the stems, and the seeds of the grapes. Tannins are responsible for that drying, kind of astringent feel in your mouth after you drink a really dry wine. Dry. Okay, so in the initial pages, we meet our main character, Leonora, but she goes by Nora. Chapter 1, first page.
It hurts. Everything hurts. The light in my eyes, the pain in my head. There's a stench of blood in my nostrils, and my hands are sticky with it. "Don't move your head," she says. "You've had a head injury." What has happened? What have I done?
Page 1. I mean, duh. Of course you're gonna keep reading. It's the most intriguing first page ever. What the hell happened? In chapter 2, we flash back and we learn a little bit more about Leonora. She's a writer, she lives in London, and she gets an email from a woman named Flo inviting her to a bachelorette weekend for an old friend of hers named Claire. But Nora hasn't spoken to Claire in over 10 years. Why the hell would she get an invite to her bachelorette weekend? So Nora emails her friend Nina, who is feisty as hell, love her, and they make a if you go, I'll go kind of pact. Already a little foreshadowing. I mean, why the hell would you go to a bachelorette party for someone you haven't spoken to in a decade? I don't know. I don't get it. Whatever. Anyway, Nora and Nina drive up to this huge glass house deep in the woods, far outside of town, and we meet the rest of the partygoers. There's Melanie, she's a new mom. There's Tom, who is a playwright and a director. He, Claire, and her fiance have worked together on numerous plays. And then there's Flo, the maid of honor, Claire's obvious new bestie. She's the one who's organized this whole weekend. This house apparently is her aunt's house. It's big, it's austere, it's very cold. There's a shotgun on the wall. I mean, it's a huge glass house in the middle of the woods in November. And the whole thing starts off like an awkward movie. It's a bachelorette party of random people, all who seem a little bit annoyed to have to be there, but feel this sense of responsibility. Everyone except Flo, who's like obsessed with Claire. In the next few chapters, we finally meet Claire, and she's got some news for Nora. She's engaged to Nora's ex. Girl, why the hell are you there? The book flashes back and forth between Nora in the hospital, trying to piece together what's happened, and then the events that actually happened over the weekend. In chapter 5, she notices a police officer standing outside of her door. Why would there be a police officer standing outside? They're throwing around the word murder, homicide, and Nora can't remember what happened. Nora also notices that she has a huge bruise on her shoulder, and it quickly comes back to her that at some point in the recent past, she's fired a gun. The first night is bachelorette party as usual, shots, margaritas, pizza. Nora's just like, please get me through this weekend. And they start playing Never Have I Ever. That's the game you should play when you're sitting across from your ex's new fiance. Smart. Nina drunkenly says, never have I ever slept with James Cooper. Ugh, Nina, bitchy move. Too much booze, she decides to go to bed. But Claire goes up to make sure that she's not going off in a snit. Should I do the rest of this in a British accent? Oh, forgot to mention there's no phone service and the landline is down. They're in a huge glass house miles from town and no way to contact anybody. Get out. Nora and Nina want to leave the next morning, obviously. But they decide to stick it out because Flo would freak out, apparently. What the heck, Flo? Chill. So they tell each other, fine, it's just one more night. Famous last words. So we're on day 2 of the bachelorette weekend, and Flo's plan is to take everybody to a shooting range. Okay. And then go back to the house for some wine and a Ouija board. Yeah, both sound like brilliant ideas. There's a setup in the thrillers, books, movies, TV shows alike. There's a setup. There's usually always something where I'm like, why in the world are these people not like more freaked out about what's going on? I'm also 100% the person who's yelling out what I think is gonna happen and then who did it. And the suspense was killing me with this one. Ruth Ware does a really, really good job of creating tension. I can actually feel the awkward annoyance amongst the company. The simmering pot is about to boil. So obviously the Ouija board freaks everyone out. It spells out murder. And Flo seems far too pleased. They all decide they're tired, they go to bed, and then they start to hear some creepy things moving around downstairs. Nora wakes up and hears like a door banging. Nina wakes up. They step out onto the landing, they creep downstairs, take the shotgun off the wall, and it's just an open door swinging in the wind. Flo's like, why didn't you lock it? They close the door, make sure it's locked, and they all go back to bed. The question I'm asking is, why the hell didn't you check the rest of the house?
The brain doesn't remember well. It tells stories, it fills in the gaps, and implants those fantasies as memories, but I have to try to get the facts. I know that I woke with a jump, footsteps on the landing. Claire and Flo were standing outside, their eyes wide, their faces bleached pale with fear. Did you hear something? I whispered, as low as I could. Claire gave a single sharp nod and pointed to the stairs. Somehow we had drawn together into a little knot. There was another creak on the stairs, and an indrawn breath from all of us. Then a figure rounded the post halfway up, silhouetted against the plate glass window that overlooked the forest. Flo screamed, and the gun went off. Oh my God, the gun. The gun was loaded.
Oh my God. So you're sitting here and you're wondering who the hell was coming up the stairs, who grabs a shotgun off the wall and just assumes that it's not loaded. You guys just went to the shooting range, check that shit. So I'm not telling you who it is. All I'll say is that it's twisty. My mind goes to every single scenario and I did not see this one coming. So if you're craving another psychological thriller, go ahead and give In a Dark, Dark Wood a read. You're gonna wanna know who does it, okay? I'm telling you right now. Thanks so much for joining me on this Halloween night. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please feel free to follow Pages and Prosecco on YouTube and Instagram, and check back next month for my next book recap. Cheers, happy reading, and keep the lit in literature. That's the question I'm asking myself. I should probably just read this part. Rock frohawk looking thing. I was freaked. It's gonna be long enough. Well. Lipstick on my teeth. Okay. Bitch, go home.